And Alex, I did not do a flash frames for this week because I'm just tired, man.
But my hair looks so good.
Hello and welcome to Deep Cuts the Game, a movie trivia podcast where I give my three contestants three different movies and they try to come up with the most random, obscure, or minor actors from those films. The deeper the cut, the more points they get. I'm your host, Jeff Penn, and with me as always, the guy that my kids still refer to as Weird Alex Young. How are you doing, Alex?
Is that true? Do they still call me that?
Yeah, I mean, it's just now more out of, like, spite, I think. Like, they're just like, we refuse to learn who this person is.
What did I do to your kids?
Nothing. But, I mean, one of them is named Alex, so therefore he's Alex. And then I've got my oldest friend from...
Who I assume is, like, Uncle Alex or
He's
whatever.
Uncle Alex. And then, just out of default, they settled on... Weird Alex for you.
There's no other adjectives in the world?
I know. They could have said so many other things about you.
Nerdy Alex. Cool Alex if we wanted to lie. But, you know, anything is better. Fine, whatever.
No, but they went with Weird Alex. So, hey, it's stuck. How are you doing? What's going on?
I mean, I was better 30 seconds ago.
I mean, it's something. At least they know who you are.
I guess. Why do I want to be famous with your kids? Shut up, Jeff. I saw Bruce Springsteen last week with my mom, which we've been like planning to go to forever.
Yep.
And we finally went to that show, which was great, even though it started an hour late, which was nobody's fault. There was like a plane, whatever. But they sent an email the night before where it's like, doors are at 6:30. The show starts at 7:30 sharp. Bruce is going to be so mad at you if you're late. He'll stop the show. He'll shame you. You'll be escorted out.
Did it really say that?
No.
Or is it okay? I was like,
but it did say 7:30 sharp. Like and I've like never had an email where it's like, don't be late. Everyone's old and tired. But it ended up starting at like almost 9, which was later. But
and we know his shows go historically long.
Legitimately a 3-hour concert, like straight up.
You know what's weird is my wife. Okay, so my wife loves.
End of sentence. You know what's weird? My wife.
No, but she loves like Tom Petty, or loved Tom Petty. He's no longer with us, but she was always like, I would go see Tom Petty, and I was like, well, he's not around anymore. How about Bruce Springsteen? She's like, yeah, I don't really like him. And I was like, how do you love Tom Petty but not like Bruce Springsteen? Aren't they kind of?
She's like, I love Free Fallin', but I hate Dancing in the Dark.
Yeah, it'd be like, you gotta like him, and you gotta like Bob Seger. Like they're all just kind of doing the same thing.
Totally. But if you remember. Years ago, Jeff, my dad and I went to see Tom Cochrane. And I'm like, I'm going. It'll be fine. I know like 3 or 4 songs. And you and I kind of dug into it and you're like, I think you're going to know a bunch of songs. And we ended up finding like
9 songs. Yeah.
Yeah. It was a bunch between like all of his stuff with Red Ryder and just like listening to Canadian radio for 20 years. It was a really long list. And we were surprised. We're like, oh yeah, Lunatic Fringe, White Hot. Like it was deep. And I'm like, I mean, I've been listening to Springsteen in the background forever, and he has way more albums. I'm gonna know so many. Like I know the singles, like "Dance in the Dark," "Born in the USA," "Darkness on the Edge of Town," "Kids in America."
Is that an original song of his?
Not him, but the title sure seems like it should.
No,
right?
Isn't that No,
that's not one. That was
it's not.
That was a little joke, Jeffrey.
I was gonna say
seems Bruce Springsteen
because I know he did the original version of the one that gets covered. Our other guests can help me if they know. But
no, there's 2. One
there's
is the
Wrapped
Mantra Band, the Earth Band.
Yeah, Wrapped Up Like a Deuce, Another Runner in the Night.
That is not what the song is called. It's called Blinded by the Light.
But that's how the lyrics are misinterpreted, if I'm not mistaken.
But is it not revved up like a deuce? Isn't that actually the lyric?
Okay, but I said
Sandra's nodding, and she's right.
I said wrapped up because I forgot that it was revved up. I said the misquote is wrapped up like a deuce.
Enough. And he also did, which he performed, a cover of...
it's the girl sings it, doesn't she?
Yeah.
Something night.
Lovers,
Something in the Night.
God damn it, that's gonna bug me.
I wasn't at the show. You should know.
Anyway, my point is, I know all the singles, and I'm like, plus it's gonna be like, oh, this song. So here's the thing, Jeff. I know less Springsteen than I thought I did. He opened with a song from the album Magic, which I'm the only person in the world who listened to that in 2007. It had Radio Nowhere on it and like no other singles. So that was a nice start. But then the rest of it was like 9 songs that I've never heard. And then like Born to Run. I'm like, great. But at one point, everybody, like, he's got like 2 notes into his song, and the audience exploded. And I'm like, yeah, it's our fave, guys. He's playing it. He's playing that one we love so much. Working in my dad's something blue collar. I've never heard the song before in my life. I swear to God. Anyway, it was still a good show.
Well,
The
good.
end.
I'm glad you enjoyed it, and I think we're going to enjoy these 2 guests we have with us tonight. Alex, did you see the little segue there where I used the word enjoy and then I stumbled over it while trying to say it?
Very on brand for this fucking show.
Yeah, I was speaking to our 2 guests before you got here and just telling them that collectively, the last time each one of them were on, they both won, and they both are the last female winners of Deep Cuts on episodes 15 and episode 16. So I'd like to welcome back to the show from episode 15, Jess Taylor.
Hello, Jeff.
Hello, Jess.
Hello.
And yep,
won't be the same showing as last time. Okay.
You never know.
Happy to be here as always.
And from episode 16, Sandra Biles, who won with one of the highest scores we've ever had when she scored a 93, which I think puts her in the top 5 all-time scores for Deep Cuts. So welcome back to the show, Sandra.
Thank you very much. Hoping to ride that beginner's luck high again.
Well, I've matched you up with some very average players tonight, so I think.
Oh, thanks, Jeff. Always happy to be here.
You know what?
Yes,
I
such a stray
take
there.
average as a compliment because I'm usually below, so that's great.
Yeah, before you got here, Jess, I was telling Sandra that while you did win the last time you were here, you also have 2 of the lowest scores in Deep Cuts history, including the lowest score of all time.
That's right. And I thought this game was like golf, and that low score is good.
Well, you're very good then. You are very, very good.
My goal is to make everybody else look good. Not me, but everybody else.
Well, thanks for coming out either way, and I hope you do well.
Because the night. Sorry.
Because the night
Yes,
belongs to lovers.
Oh,
That song.
I know that song.
Yes.
Because the
He wrote
night
that song. I thought it was just a cover of the
belongs
show,
to
and then I later
my
looked it
God.
up, and it's like, no, he wrote it.
us. You're weird with music, though, sometimes, Alex, so that's all.
You know what, Jeff? Fuck you.
Weird just with music, or
Yeah, and
Weird,
also
yeah.
weird. No, say more about that. Weird how? Because like I don't know who does the song.
No, because, okay, we're going so far off topic today, but you and I were literally talking earlier today about the movie Heretic. And I don't know if, Sandra, have you seen Heretic? But like one of the big parts of that movie is where Hugh Grant is talking about the song by the Hollies, the air that I breathe, I believe is the song, and how it's like was then they sued the Radiohead, and Alex is like, he looked at me, he's like, I don't know what you're talking about. Like he completely forgot that was a thing that happened in the movie, and I was like, it's such a big part of it that
2 things about that, Jeff. I saw that movie 2 months ago. Second, I don't know about that, man. I don't know what's going on in the news. Also, that probably happened like before I was born.
But then I turned to my son as we were watching it, and I was like, oh, and then Lana Del Rey got in trouble because she kind of ripped the song off too. And then Hugh Grant mentions that, and my son's like, whoa, like he was so amazed that I knew something. He was, Alex, trust me. You don't look like you believe me.
I don't. I'm just going to let you have it because I'm like, it really seems like you need your son to believe in you. So that's okay.
Well, before we get into this week's episode of Deep Cuts, the game, I'm thinking of a movie. And I would like the 3 of you to try to guess what movie am I thinking of. So, Sandra, what movie am I thinking of?
I'm going to go with Brick.
Ooh, the Joseph Gordon-Levitt. Who else is in that? Lucas Haas?
Lucas Haas, Emil DeRaven, Richard Roundtree, bunch of other people.
I mean, that's pretty good. I got lost at Lucas Haas. That was all I could remember. Brick. It is not Brick, but that's a fun movie. I did enjoy that one. Jess Taylor. What movie am I thinking of?
A Knight's Tale?
A Knight's Tale. The Heath Ledger,
Alan Tudyk, Samantha Sosaman.
Are we sure it's Alan Tudyk?
We are
It is.
positive it's Alan Tudyk.
Oh, I'm positive.
It's Alan Tudyk, and then
And
the other
Paul
guy,
Bettany.
Paul Bettany. Paul Bettany's the bard who writes the poems
Yeah.
and stuff like that. I think Alan Tudyk is
the
just
naked
kind of.
guy? Who's the
I don't
naked
know.
guy?
No, I think
Or isn't he the
Paul's
guy-
the
Yeah, it's the naked guy.
Is he
Yeah,
the
that's what I
naked-
thought.
Okay, is he not like who's his armor? Like who does his armor for him? Is there a third guy?
There is a
No,
third
that
guy.
was-
It's the guy from Full Monty, and then
It's
there's
Mark
a
Addy. I
girl
was gonna say
who does the armor for him.
Mark that's right, it is a girl, and Mark Addy's in it as well.
Yeah, I
yes.
was gonna say it is a woman who does his armor, but Mark Addy, I think
Yes.
also played Fred Flintstone in one movie.
He did. He also had his own like sitcom on like CBS years ago
Mhm.
called
Yes.
Don't Tell Me. Don't Tell Me.
Game of Thrones.
No.
Get outta here.
What was that one called? It was they were
Was it still
Two-
standing?
I think it was Still Standing. Yes. That sounds right.
Yes, that sounds right.
Yes.
Anyway, can
But
we do that movie or no?
I mean, you did great on it, Jess. Well done.
Thanks.
Alex,
Like
what
Alex?
movie am I thinking of?
Are you thinking of Everybody Wants Some?
The unofficial sequel to
Yeah.
Dazed and Confused. Is this because I posted a Dazed and Confused picture
That is
on
exactly right,
Instagram?
Jeffrey.
It's not. It's not any of those movies. It is Plan 9 from Outer Space.
For fuck's sakes.
And what movie is that?
It's an Ed Wood movie.
Ed Wood.
It's an Ed Wood
Famously
movie.
Terrible.
Famously like one of the worst movies of all time kind of thing, but still kind of fun.
I want to know. I really would love if somebody legitimately got this right.
One day it'll happen.
Yeah.
I mean, will it, Alex? Because that might mean us having to do like 10,000 episodes before it happens.
What else you got
And,
going on?
Just anything. Okay,
Anything else.
so Jess, I'm going with you.
Really?
I mean, nobody's close.
Yeah, I was
I
gonna
mean,
say.
makes sense.
I mean, it has aliens, so it is the most far. Like A Knight's Tale is potentially the most. I don't know. It's also a period piece,
Right.
where-
That's
then
the
so
word.
is Everybody Wants Something. So, Alex, there's no right answer here. It doesn't matter.
Jess can just have it. It's fine.
Jess
It
can
doesn't
have it.
matter.
I mean,
Jess-
for the record, I'm not gonna take Alex's spot.
Oh.
I do like the number 2 slot,
Okay.
which also sounds weird when you say it like that, but it's fine. I'll take the second slot.
That sounds weird too, Jess. But
Yeah, whatever.
okay. And Alex, I'm gonna go with you.
Great. I'll go third.
Of course you will.
Damn it.
You son of a.
Did you want third, Sandra?
I just don't want to go first.
Mhm.
Yeah, I just never want to go first. Period.
I feel that. All right, so Sandra's in the 1 spot, Jess in the 2 hole, and then Alex third.
Thank you.
So the 3 movies we're doing tonight for Deep Cuts the Game are. I feel like we've been skirting around this movie for a couple weeks now, Alex. Here, this is our 3rd November Noir episode. So from 2007, Gone Baby Gone, and then a little more recent, but a little off track here from 2017, Blade Runner 2049. And then finally, because I feel like people have been wanting this one, and I didn't want to serve it up for some of our heavy hitters because they're always going, oh, this person from this movie. But from 1993, The Fugitive.
Mm.
There's been a lot of people chatting at me that, oh, when you do The Fugitive, put me on. I'm like, no, I'm not going to put you on when you've, told me this movie that you're so good at.
I've got
Not a
so
chance.
few for The Fugitive. Like, I know it's deep as hell, and I remember when I watched it like 2 years ago, I'm like, this is stacked. And now that we've done it, I'm like, just that one.
I like that you say you have so few for The Fugitive, and I'm looking at this list. I have so few in general.
Don't worry, Jess. It will be okay.
Will
There was
it
a
be
couple from The
okay?
Fugitive that I was like, oh, wow. I did not know that person was in it. So there are some even deeper. And if I'm not mistaken, there is only one crossover. One person who appears in more than one of these films. I mean, it's pretty easy. You guys are looking, I don't know if you're looking confused because you don't know who it is, or you're looking confused because you're trying to think of other things. Because if you don't,
Oh, I know who the crossover is, but it
Okay.
can't be more than 3 points total
it's exactly that.
across all 3 movies.
Guess what? I want those 3 points.
You take them, Jess. You're ahead of me.
All right, I'll give you a moment.
I don't like that Sandra has not stopped writing since you said God Baby Gone, so she's got an essay of names.
No, it's all Fugitive. I have nothing for the other 2.
Great. Great.
I have maybe 2 in general for all 3, so this should be fun. I just
I
want to
love
know, like,
this
what was?
moderating.
Can just tell me what Gone Baby Gone was about? Maybe we
It was a baby
What?
got kidnapped.
Jeff, I was going to make the same joke.
Well, I mean, it's not even
Like,
a
this
joke.
baby ran away.
Like, I just watched it last week, and literally at one point, someone says that line in the movie, that
Really?
a baby is gone. And it's gone. And it's a very
It's about
deep
the
cast.
Lindbergh baby.
It takes place in Boston, Jess. Contemporary in 2007. Directed by a famous actor who is not in the movie, so don't bother wasting your guess on that. But a famous actor directed this movie. It's a Boston film. Lots of people talk with Boston accents.
Okay.
And a child is abducted, and two kind of like low-level detectives, a guy and a girl, are hired to try to track down this little girl.
Okay.
And yeah, it's a bit of a mystery. It's written by the same guy who wrote Mystic River and Shutter Island.
Okay.
Boy, I bet he's fun at parties. All these things are
Those
just
are,
enormous bummers.
Yeah. All right, Sandra, I think you've got enough names written down now.
I hope so.
You are up first. What's your best deep cut?
Okay, well, it's definitely gonna be The Fugitive. I'm gonna go with Julianne Moore.
I was expecting deeper.
She's only in like one scene.
Sure, but she is Julianne Moore. And I believe if you go look at IMDb, she is credited like 5th in this movie. But
so does that mean you're giving us permission to look at IMDb right now?
I was going to say the same thing.
No, I said later when you go look at IMDb. But Julianne Moore is worth 10 points.
That's still really good.
It's a solid.
I'll take. Anyway, no, I'm kidding.
All right, Jess Taylor.
Oh god.
What's your first deep cut for 1
Oh,
point?
it's so deep right now. We're gonna go Harrison Ford.
You are taking those 3 points, eh?
You're taking those 3 points, Jess.
Taking them.
Harrison Ford, The Fugitive, and also the aging Blade Runner from Blade Runner 2049, where he's worth 2 points. So 3 points.
I'm on the board, and that's all that matters.
I guess.
Are we expecting a new low score here? Like
You might.
I looked at these 3 movies, and I was like, there's a lot of people in here. Like you can accidentally get to 20 points, I think, just by.
But what if I don't know any? Anyway, we're fine. I'm just gonna guess names, maybe, and we'll see how that goes.
All right. Okay.
In Jess's defense, she was pressured as a last-minute guest like 3 hours ago. So she's like not mentally prepared for how taxing this game is. Okay, I got 2 from Blade Runner.
Okay.
One is Mackenzie Davis.
Yes. Mackenzie Davis for 8 points.
Great, I'll take it. And I'm hoping she's credited. I know she's in the movie, but it's like weird CG. But Sean Young.
Sean Young is credited in Blade Runner 2049. She's worth 12 points, Alex. She's 12.
There's your 20. And now we can call it a night. See you later.
That's solid. Solid cuts, Alex. Jess, I'm so sorry, but we're back to you.
Right.
Already.
God. So Blade Runner 2049.
Do you want to know what that's about too?
Like, no, but I do know the movie at least. I've never seen it.
Okay.
My dog said bark, don't you dare. Sorry. So I'm thinking I want to say Ryan Gosling is in Blade Runner 2049.
Boy.
So deep.
I know.
He is.
He's the Blade Runner 2049.
Which is fine.
He is worth 1 point.
That's fine. We're gonna aim for 10 tonight, guys. That's really.
I don't know if you're gonna get there, Jess.
I might not get there.
You're at 4 right now, and I feel like you've. If you're not sure about Ryan Gosling being in this movie that he is famously known for,
correct.
I don't know what else you have left in the tank.
Neither do I, Jeff.
We might have to give you a phone a friend option at some point, Jess. We'll see.
Is there that option? That'd be great.
No. Sandra, you have your second and your third deep cuts.
Okay. I'm going to go with Celia Ward as his wife.
Yes.
Solid as hell. Especially for remembering her name.
What would we mentioned her last week?
I was going to say
she was in Gone Girl.
Yeah.
I believe she's the reporter in Gone Girl, if I'm not mistaken. So
presumably the sequel to Gone Baby Gone, where the baby is now a girl.
So she is worth 8 points because I believe she is only ever seen in flashbacks of the murder and the night that they're at the
At
party.
the party and everything. Yeah.
Yeah, so 8 points for Seal Award.
Very good.
So what is your third deep cut, Sam?
I'll go with Jane Lynch.
See, that's where I thought you were going to
That's a good
start.
one.
I thought you were going to start there rather than Julianne Moore.
Okay.
Because while I believe she may have
More. Yeah, I can't tell.
more screen time, but she's also a much lower level.
She wasn't
star.
Jane
lesser
Lynch yet,
known,
yeah.
right?
No, nobody, like, it's not like you watch that movie and we're like, oh wow, Jane Lynch was like a doctor in this or whatever she was. It was like, you're like, who was that random woman in 1993, right? So Jane Lynch, worth 12 points. It's a very good
I'm
cut.
upset because I know these people.
When it comes to Julianne Moore, it's always more screen time.
Jess Taylor, Jane Lynch is, what is she famous for?
Glee. She's
Glee.
in Glee. She's also
Glee.
in
She's
Only
in
Murders in the
40-Year-Old
Building.
Virgin as
Oh,
well.
Yeah.
okay. Sorry. I thought you were asking me, Jess. I wasn't sure. I thought
No,
you would
no.
ask-
I just meant like I'm so like I know these people. This is what I'm saying. Like
Oh,
I
okay.
know these actors and actresses. I just haven't
You're
seen
sp-
these movies.
You're
so-
spacing on it. Okay,
These are good
it's
movies.
okay.
Pardon? What's a good
These
movie?
are good movies. I could lend
I know.
all of them to you.
Well, for the record, I've seen The Fugitive, just not.
It is 31 years old at this point.
It's almost as old as me.
Mhm. All right, Jess Taylor, you have your third deep cut on your race to 10.
And by race, you mean crawl. That's
Mhm.
correct. So Blade Runner, just
Yes. Oh,
general
boy.
here.
Okay.
Can I just say Wesley Snipes or something? Like maybe he makes a
Why? Why would you?
Oh, Blade!
old Blade. Oh God. See, aren't they entertaining though? At least.
That was incredible.
See, you're welcome.
That's like a guess my mom would make.
Was she confusing Blade Runner 2049 with Blade 3, and somehow she still got Ryan Gosling rather than Ryan Reynolds? Like she was able
Right.
to figure that out.
No, I figured the Ryans out.
Okay. So
That's an X.
That's
that's an X. There's no
coming back from that.
Wesley Snipes in Blade
But
Runner 2049.
At least I had the right word. So
I guess.
There's no points for that.
I want when we come
Oh,
back,
no.
Jess is like, cool runnings. Is it John Candy? We're like, no, come on, man. You're getting further from it.
Yeah, Blade.
it's fine. You should just wait for my next guess. It'd still be even more entertaining.
Oh boy. Alex, you have your third deep cut, and then we'll give you a midway point rundown.
Okay. I'm gonna take one from The Fugitive. Because I feel like Sandra's getting there, and it's like really the only one I got, but it's famous. Neil Flynn.
Neil Flynn is the cop shot on the subway. Yep, for 10 points. Don't give me your second one yet, Alex. I'll give you your points. Alex, you're at 30.
That's
Sandra.
Sandra. Thumbs up.
You're at 30 as well. We have a tie game.
Ooh.
Just Taylor.
Is in the lead.
You have 4.
Amazing.
You have 4. And okay, so here's a question. This has nothing to do with the game or anything, but I was out walking a dog tonight and I saw a house and its house number was 666.
Yeah, the devil lives there.
Yeah. So my question for the three of you is, would you rather live in a house that is numbered 666 or that is numbered 13? Like just straight up 13, not like 2013 or 2213. It's just 13 Sycamore Avenue, or you can live at 666. And like, I'm not a religious guy. I'm not even really a superstitious guy, but
13 would be my answer.
I think I'm taking 13. Yeah.
Honestly, I think either. I think they're both like rad addresses.
Yeah, same.
Like both are cool.
I would
at
not care either
Halloween.
way. I'd be like, great.
And I feel like 13, is that not a lucky number in some cultures?
Not our culture, baby.
No.
And
thought
listen,
you
Jeff,
were gonna
I
go,
live. My
like-
address is 69, so I'm no stranger to like weird numbered addresses.
I was
Yeah.
actually I thought you were gonna say, would you want 666 or 69? And my answer was gonna be 69 because that's just funny. But yeah.
It's fine. It does seem like all your IDs are fake, though. I can tell you from experience.
When you're at 69, whatever, people are like, that's not a real place.
Yeah. It's like the equivalent of like McLovin, where it's like, come on.
All right, Alex, you are all tied up with Sandra, and you have your fourth deep cut.
I'm gonna get less deep, but I'm a little bit torn now because I feel like I'm on even keel as far as my next two guesses are, but I feel like he's got less screen time, even though he's famous. Jared Leto in Blade Runner 2049.
Yeah, he's 5 points.
Okay.
As I don't know, he's kind of the villain.
Because I was going to pick some people from the team in The Fugitive, but I feel like they are on screen the whole time.
They are, but honestly,
tell me who those team members are.
Yeah, Jess, here they are in alphabetical order.
Like, Alex, I will say this, knowing that there's nothing you can do about it for about 4 picks, but I think if you're able to remember team members' names other than, say, maybe the main team member in The Fugitive, like, that's pretty good. Like, Jared Leto, everybody knows who Jared Leto is.
Sure.
If you can get a little further down into the team, like, well done. Like, I would take those every day of the week.
All right. Hey, Sandra,
Jess Taylor.
Shut up.
Jess Taylor, you have your 4th pick, and you also have 4 points. What is your 4th deep cut?
I swear to God, I can't. I'm beyond blank. Like, I haven't seen haven't seen 2 of these movies, and I haven't seen the other one in years. At least I know The Fugitive, so that's good news. But I can't think of anybody else. Like
remember. You don't even have to tell me their name. You can tell me other things they've been in. And like The Fugitive has another giant star in it.
That's true.
So rather than giving me Wesley Snipes again, try to remember who is the person that doesn't care.
And Sandra, did he win an Oscar for this, or was he just nominated?
No, he won.
He
beat Leonardo DiCaprio in What's Eating Gilbert Grape, something that has haunted many girls my age for many years. Yeah.
I don't know. It was a hell of a performance.
Sure.
So, okay.
He should have won for Batman Forever.
But Jeff, I can't even remember that I haven't seen The Fugitive in so long. Literally the only person I can remember from that movie is Harrison Ford.
So there's a part where he's about to jump. He's about to jump into the water. He's about to jump. And he says, "I didn't kill my wife." And then the other guy says, "I don't care."
And Will Ferrell plays that guy in Jay and Silent Bob Strike Back, which seems like a movie you've seen more recently than The Fugitive.
Probably is. Yes, that makes sense.
All right, so I don't think we're getting Jess there. So, Jess, what is your deep cut?
I'm just gonna take it because you said the guy who directed Gone Baby Gone, like you said, also did Mystic River and Shutter Island.
Well, he wrote the guy who directed Gone Baby Gone is a famous actor,
right?
But he is not in this movie.
Not in it.
The guy who wrote Gone Baby Gone also wrote Shutter Island and Mystic River.
But I hear Mystic River and I want to guess somebody from that movie, but that's probably not correct. I just want to say like a random name. Like, honestly, I'm going like Sean Penn because I'm throwing out actors' names right now.
I mean, he is in Mystic River.
I know.
But he is not
in any of the other movies.
He's not in any of these films.
No.
No, I'm sorry. Jess.
I know. It's not a good showing tonight. It's going to be a new low. I swear to God.
Yeah. It's going to be
rough.
Jess. Unless you just accidentally back into something.
I want that to happen the most, where she picks a name, you're like, believe it or not, he ADR'd 2 lines and he's worth 20 points.
Right? That's all. I'm just going to think of random names and
Okay.
That's a bad strategy, Jess.
Yep.
Sandra, you have your 4th and your 5th deep cuts.
Okay. You might have to do some looking up for this one because the guy who's the guard on the bus.
Yeah, don't worry, I got it.
Okay, great. I don't remember his name. I think it's Richard something, and I also know him from The West Wing in an episode where he gets an accommodation from the president, and then it turns out he's a cop who shot a kid or something.
I think, Alex, you'll know him most famously from the movie Office Space, where he is the jump to conclusions
guy. It's always him.
It's Richard Reel. He's the guard who's like lies about how Harrison Ford got away because he's like, oh no, he was cuffed in, and clearly he wasn't. Richard Reel is worth 15 points.
Ooh, well done, Sandra.
Excellent, thank you.
Also, how dare you?
Yeah.
Okay. And then for the team members, again, I don't know his name, and I'm pretty sure he played Jay Leno in a TV movie about the late night wars.
Yeah, with him and Leno versus
Leno versus Letterman. Yeah.
He's also known for he was in Lost for like one episode, and he gets blown up by the dynamite in the first season, where he's the guy that like questions Jack. He's like, why do we always have to listen to what you're talking about? And then he gets blown up by dynamite. And Alex, I think he was in like Phantasm 5 or 6 that we watched.
He's one of those a million things.
Daniel Roebuck.
Yes.
Is his name, and he is worth 12 points.
Son of a bitch, Sandra.
Because yes, he's in a lot of that movie, but guess what? Nobody knows his name.
Never heard that name.
Daniel Roebuck. Yeah, like you said, played
great last name though.
Yep. Jess Taylor. I can't wait to hear what you've got for us.
Me too.
Like
I'm rooting for you.
Can we like steer her a little?
Yeah, sure. Like.
So
text me a team member name.
That's no fun. Give me the star of Gone Baby Gone.
Okay.
Think like Boston actors.
And who have a famous brother.
Who have a famous brother. A famous brother directed this movie who's more famous than the star.
But I would say the star of this movie is a better actor than his famous brother.
That's debatable. You love him in this movie and he's fine.
No, he's pretty much great in everything he does. Where his brother
Boston actors.
It's not a Wahlberg. That's what I'll say. It's not a Wahlberg.
Okay.
I want to be like Kelsey Grammer.
But he was in a movie with his famous brother that took place in Boston. Yeah, he was.
Yeah.
I know. I'm trying to think. No, it's funny because like
I like Alex is tilting his head like he's like, really? And
I don't remember what movie this is.
You know what movie it is.
It's a very famous movie where his brother's not the star, but his brother's the best friend of the star.
Very active.
I may not get this, and I want to know who the brothers are because I may not get this. So the name that pops into my head, just like randomly, is Jimmy Fallon.
Fucking shit! How the fuck? Jimmy Fallon?
Why?
Has he ever done a Boston accent? I've never heard Jimmy Fallon.
On SNL?
He was in Fever Pitch and rooted for the Boston Red Sox. So there you go.
Yeah, but
that's where your mind went?
You can remember that he was in Fever Pitch, but you can't remember that.
Also, does he have a brother who's a famous actor / director?
I ignored the brother hint because I can't think of the brothers.
That's such an important part of it, though.
I can't think of the brothers. I can't.
All right. Well, no. Jimmy Fallon, weirdly enough, does not appear in Gone Baby Gone.
Or unless anything.
Maybe he's in the background on a TV somewhere, but unfortunately he's not credited anywhere in any.
Well, he shouldn't be credited in any of these movies, but we're going to try him out.
He's not. Alex, you have some ground to make up. Unfortunately, Sandra really hit some big hits here. So what do you got for your fifth and your sixth?
First of all, I appreciate that Sandra waited a little while to like bring out these big guesses. So like it could be neck and neck for a little while, even though we all knew this is how it was going to shake out. So like I'm also going to go deep in the team and be impressive and give the most famous fucking team member of Joey Pants.
Oh, okay. Yeah, I mean, yes, of the team. He's not the leader.
Yeah, I'm not going to give you the second build guy who won an Oscar, but just can't remember.
Joey Pants for 6 points, Alex.
Great.
6 pants for Joey Pants.
6 pants for Joey Pants?
Yes.
Good old Joey Points. I also can't believe I forget his name, and I'm an idiot, but he's also in Blade Runner. My God. Dave Bautista.
Yes.
I feel like he's only really in like 2 scenes, so maybe he's got a couple of points, but he's really, really good in it, and it's quite famous. So
he's also worth he's 6 points, Alex. He's 6 points because, like you said, he's not in it very much, but he is like that opening sequence, if I'm not mistaken, right?
And then he has a big fight where he very nearly kills Ryan Gosling.
Who no one has, no, it just did say Ryan Gosling.
Yeah.
I didn't even mark it down because I was like, no one's ever going to say this person's name, but somebody did.
That's how she got to 4, Jeff.
That's how she got to 4. Jess, you have your final. Who can we easily steer her towards?
I'm so happy it's the final guess because I've never this is it's slightly embarrassing, but I'm really glad you guys are I'm glad I'm making you laugh because this is good.
Jess, did you ever see the original Blade Runner?
No.
Okay, so that's not gonna help.
Jess, did you ever see Men in Black?
Yeah. Yes.
Who's not Will Smith?
Oh, Tommy Lee Jones. Done.
She did it.
I did it.
Tommy Lee Jones is the guy who doesn't care if Harrison Ford killed his wife.
That's the guy who doesn't care. Oh, okay.
Yeah,
2 points.
Famously.
And he's always wearing that nice like zip up sweater, the
Yes,
gray kind of like
okay.
Mr. Rogers looking sweater. It feels like to me.
I'm gonna honestly after this episode, I'm gonna just IMDb The Fugitive, and I'm gonna be mad at myself for everything.
Or just watch The Fugitive. It's super good.
Well, that too. I love that. I actually do love that movie.
It's a great St. Patrick's Day watch.
Sandra, you've won. I don't even really have to add up the points, but you have one more crack at it to really boost your point total. What do you got?
So I'm not super confident on this one, and again, I don't know his name. The main villain, I believe, is the same actor who plays Barbara Streisand's husband in The Prince of Tides. I knew Alex was going to mock me.
In what movie?
Prince of Tides.
So, but she's talking about The Fugitive. We're talking about the one-armed man, right?
Yes. No, not the one-armed man. The
actual,
like the guy.
The German guy, right?
Yeah.
The other doctor. Okay, I'm gonna have to go look at the Prince of Tides.
Coral, you didn't need this. You could have just said Amy Ryan. It's fine.
I genuinely, Gone Baby Gone, all I have is like the main person. I'm like, I know people in that, but I'm not confident about any of them.
Which amazingly, Jess doesn't even have.
You were right. His name is Jerome Crabb with a little accent over the E. He was worth 10 points because honestly, much like you could not remember his name, I didn't figure anyone would know his name. And I've never watched The Prince of Tides because...
How dare you?
Why the hell would I watch?
Barbara Streisand is a goddess.
So he's worth 10 points. Okay, Jess. Gone Baby Gone.
Yeah.
Before we give the point totals. Gone Baby Gone stars Casey Affleck, brother of Ben Affleck.
That's the one.
Brother of the Affleck duck.
Yes, and he was in... What movie were we referencing earlier, Sandra?
Good Will Hunting.
Good Will Hunting.
No, I know. No, yeah, I know Casey Affleck, and I know Ben. Like, if I didn't know Ben Affleck, we'd have a big problem right now. But
Michelle Monaghan is the female detective. Other people you missed because I don't think anyone got anything from.
We didn't do anything from Gone Baby Gone.
Ed Harris and John Ashton are the cops. Morgan Freeman is the police chief. Amy Ryan and Amy Madigan are two Amy's in the movie. And Titus in Gone Baby Gone.
Yeah, Amy Ryan win an Oscar or just nominated?
Dude, I don't
just nominated.
Pay attention to that.
Just nominated. Yeah. Great performance. That's a performance. Casey Affleck. Well done, Amy Ryan.
Titus Welliver from the TV show Bosch is also in it. Who I did not know was in it until I watched it again is Michael Kenneth Williams from The Wire and Community. He's got like 4 lines in this movie. From Better Call Saul and Breaking Bad, you got Mark Margolis, the old guy in the wheelchair in Breaking Bad. Matt Mayer, the guy from Our Flag Means Death. He's like one of the tall pirates. And then
the one with the voice.
The voice, yes.
Yeah. Who's also in Penguin.
Yeah, he plays a pedophile in Gone Baby Gone. And then there is actually a Wahlberg in it, but not a famous one. It's Robert Wahlberg. The Wahlberg nobody knows about.
There's a Bob Wahlberg?
There is a Bob Wahlberg. He's in everything. Blade Runner 2049, Jess Taylor, which you have not seen. Ana de Armas, Alex Scott as Dave Bautista. Robin Wright is also in it. Alex, I thought you were going to go for David Dasmelchian.
David Dasmelchian? I completely forgot he was in it.
I forgot he was in it too.
Robin Wright.
Robin Wright. Edward James Olmos was the other person from the original Blade Runner that came back for it. Anyone else? Not really. So
and if I actually thought about your Boston clue, because like if I thought of Affleck and then if I wanted to make, because I do know Good Will Hunting, I was like, oh, I could have thrown up Matt, like my mind would have gone Matt Damon. Not that matters at all.
Also wrong, but a better guess than Jimmy Fallon.
I was going to say that would have been a better guess than Jimmy Fallon, for sure. But,
did anyone watch Bad Monkey yet? Alex, you haven't watched Bad Monkey?
Just you and Craig.
Okay, there's a woman. She's one of the other team members in The Fugitive. She's in Bad Monkey. I did not recognize her. She's like a grandmother now in Bad Monkey. Ron Dean is the cop that's like, yeah, we arrested this guy. He's in The Breakfast Club as Emilio Estevez's dad. That's the only thing I can think of him in. What else we got? There's another brother relation in this. There's Bill Cusack, one of the Cusacks. Just Bill. And that's about it. You did pretty well. You got your Jane Lynch's and your Neil Flynn's and your Julianne Moore's. So now, time to add up the points. Jess, I'm going to save you for last, okay?
Oh, thank you.
Got to dig out an abacus for that one.
Yeah, Alex, you're going to need multiple hands to figure it out, okay?
30 at the half with 17 points in the second half puts you at 47. Sandra, also 30 at the half. You picked up 37 in the second half to give you 67 for the win.
She did.
And Jess, you picked up 2 points.
That's great.
In the second half, that yes, I do have to go to my second
You
hand.
have to use 2 hands.
2 hands. Right? So 6 freaking points.
My first benchmark was I made the joke about 10 and I'm like, I probably should have just
stuck with 5. Yes.
So sorry,
let's get into the second hand so that we can very well done, Sandra. That was a strong showing. You pulled up some there that whatever his name was, Jerome Crab. That was while not the biggest points, that is the most surprising one to me, that you knew anything else that guy was in.
Honestly, we watched Prince of Tides not that long ago in my house, and when we saw him, I went, "Oh, it's the guy from The Fugitive." That's the only thing I know him from. That and Prince of Tides.
I think that might be the only things he's
done.
Like, according to IMDb, Prince of Tides isn't even one of his top 4. It's The Living Daylights, the Punisher movie from 1989, and something called Immortal Beloved.
Oh, I haven't watched that one yet, but my roommate loves that one.
Yeah, I've never
really.
Yeah, it's about Beethoven. I think it's Gary Oldman.
That does kind of look like Gary Oldman there. Yeah.
He's a chameleon, that guy.
Another woman won, so that's
thank you, Jess.
You're welcome, Sandra. Thank you for oh my god, just thank you for showing up because I didn't.
So Sandra, the last time you were here, you won and you got to suggest a future guest. And I can't remember, who did you say?
Io Debris.
That's right. Mm-hmm. So maybe we aim a little lower.
What was that? Was that too hard?
I haven't heard back from her. So I just think
maybe let's try like Emma Segelman, who is at least local, or she was.
I was gonna say, is she still local?
Or try another TSN on-air talent. We know some of those people.
We've run that well dry.
I know.
Yeah. And honestly, Jess, I've hit up a couple that I knew pretty well, and I have not heard back from them.
Well, that's rude.
Yeah, a little bit. What do you got, Sandra? Who do you think would make a good guest for Deep Cuts the Game?
I'm sorry, I'm not aiming any lower for you. I apologize, but I'm going to go with Kate Siegel, actress and director and wife of Mike Flanagan. I think she'd be very good at this game.
It's almost like you do it on. It's like I should almost let the loser pick. Like, hey, loser, you pick because you're probably feeling bad about yourself, and like maybe you would do something to help me out. But nope, the winner loves just rubbing it in my face.
This is the closest thing we have to a prize.
Well done, Sandra. Kate Siegel. I'll reach out to her. Yeah, I'm a huge fan of hers and the movies she's in, and her husband's movies, and so yeah, that would be great. But yeah, she's probably busy, but we can try.
Sandra, have you watched her short yet?
No, not yet.
In VHS Beyond?
No.
It's really good.
I've heard it's the best one in the...
It is, for sure. And Alana Pierce is phenomenal in it. And I didn't know that Mike Flanagan wrote it.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's solid as hell.
And where can you find that, Alex? Is that just on Shudder or something? Or okay. All right. Well, Sandra, since you won, where can people find you? I know you're on Instagram at Cinephile. Is that
yes? At Cinephile yes. Sandra.
Okay. So she is on Instagram. Is there anything else you want to promote while you're here?
No, not really. Just I'm going to steal what Alex always says: support your local cinemas, support your local physical media sellers, that sort of thing.
Very true. I just bought a copy of Peacemaker because you never know what's going to happen to that. And then someone posted online, they're like, Penguin, the best DC show of all time. Peacemaker, the worst. And I was like, what a clickbait bullshit post this is. Like, Penguin's great, but please don't put Peacemaker as the worst DC show of all time. It's like one of the best. So go to hell, you clickbait son of a bitch.
Yep. Honestly, it's the best even if you are only watching the opening dance number.
Yeah.
That alone is like 4 stars. Done.
Yeah. I don't know how you don't like that show, but I think it was literally just trying to get engagement.
Absolutely.
Right? Because put up any other show, but don't put that one up. Jess Taylor, what's going on with you?
Well, the Leaf game's on right now, so that's so I'm gonna feel even worse probably after this, so that's fine. But not too much. I was gonna make the joke and say support your local Blockbuster, but that's not a thing anymore.
How dare you?
Oh, the good old days.
Oh, the good old days. I love those. No, I'm I'm gonna just keep supporting your podcast, Jeff. Just keep promoting this.
I will keep trying to do it.
You're still doing a hell of a job. The fact that you keep asking me to come, like, not keep asking, I think you've asked me to come back multiple times is a privilege. Like, considering I don't show up a lot, but I appreciate that. I'm always happy to play. It's a really fun game.
Well, Jess, I want to thank you for coming out, especially on such short notice.
Anytime.
And,
I clearly was doing so much tonight.
Alex Young, since Sandra stole your stuff, do you have anything else you want to try to promote this week?
I do, Jeff. I'm going to say this is where you're going to insert the sponsorship thing that we did not do off the top. And now a word from our sponsor.
Welcome to Haven't Seen It, a movie podcast hosted by Tim Sestito and Tommy Tevenet. One of these hosts hasn't seen the movie, and they're going to talk about it. Expect great insight.
Tim's really testing my commitment to the podcast by making me watch The Godfather.
Witty banter.
I like RoboCop shooting dicks, I guess.
And lots of laughs. Haven't Seen It. Available on Apple, Spotify, and all other major podcast platforms.
That is my partner's favorite joke because she listens to so many podcasts. She's like, every podcast promoting another podcast, it's like they all just hand around the same $5.
Yeah.
It's like a Tim's gift card.
I was waiting for your super fun text.
Oh, great. Here's the text.
All right. Do I have to do a voice this week, Alex?
Yes, of course you do. This might be the last voice, though.
Okay. I hate it, but I love it. I want you to know that.
This one I think you can do. I feel like I've heard you do it before. So give me like your best, like a Sam Spade sort of like, listen here, see, like a 1930s or 40s, like stereotypical pulp detective.
Okay. All right. I'm doing this in real time, kids. So there's no.
This is
no
live
rehearsal.
radio.
Jeff slumped in his chair.
No, that's the wrong voice.
Yeah,
That's
I know it is.
voice.
I slipped into my Batman
It's
again.
essentially Batman. Take it again. But better.
Let me hear you do yours again.
What are we gonna do? When she walked into the restaurant, I knew it was trouble. I don't know.
Terrible.
See, now I don't. That's terrible. So now I don't feel so bad because that was off.
But that's the voice you need to do.
Jeff slumped in his chair, a half-smoked cigarette dangling from his lips. The city outside his window was a blur of neon lights and rain-slicked streets. He'd closed the case, but at what cost? Another body count? Another betrayal? He'd been a sucker, a chump, played for a fool. He drained his glass, tossed it aside, and headed out into the night, looking for the next case. If you need a private dick, follow Deep Cuts on any platform you like. We're ready to take on the next client and do it all again next week. See ya, kid.
It was like almost Boston. Like Ben Affleck directed this one too.
I was actually going to say, can you make it part Boston? So.
I could not. Well, thank you for playing Deep Cuts, and we'll see you all again next week. Smash that like and subscribe button, and we'll see you around. Bye.
Kids in America.
Perfect.